Shadow, come on.
Sistah Chat Radio, turn us on, enjoy the show, the machine for your soul.
Regardless religion, your status, your goals is where everyone grows from what everyone knows.
Sistah Chat Radio, turn us on, enjoy the show, the machine for your soul.
Your purpose, your passion, yes, we can discuss. Designed just for you, yeah, you can trust us. Trust us, trust us.
Sistah Chat Radio, turn us on, enjoy the show, the machine for your soul.
Regardless religion, your status, your goals is where everyone grows from what everyone knows.
Sistah Chat Radio, turn us on, enjoy the show, the machine for your soul.
Your purpose, your passion, yes, we can discuss. Designed just for you, yeah, you can trust us. Trust us, trust us.
Welcome to Sistah Chat Radio on WSMR 100 FM. This is Sarah Smith-Katz, aka Lady Sarah, and I am so happy to be here tonight with my sisters. We're having Galentine's Day.
Galentine's Day.
Galentine's Day.
Yes,
Day.
yes. Hello. Yes.
Everybody
knows I hope what
that.
Galentine's Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
We want to thank our sponsors, brokersrealty.com. They are just such amazing folks. We just had John Rainville on Get Seen in the Poconos just before this show, and it is always a pleasure to speak with him. He is such a knowledgeable real estate broker, and just always a pleasure to have around. We want to let everyone know about our upcoming events. We have our Mother's Day tea on Saturday, May 4th at the Shawnee Inn and Golf Resort from 1 to 4:30 p.m. We're going to have entertainment, raffle tickets, auction, and the proceeds are going to benefit Women's United of the United Way of Monroe County. If you're interested in joining us, you're going to have to go on our Facebook page and log on to Eventbrite. It's an individual ticket is $35. A child under 10 is $25. And if you're interested in having a table of 8, it's $250. We are looking for sponsors for that event, and we do have just a few vendor tables left. Am I correct, Holly? We have some left?
I have three.
We have three
and
tables
then there
left.
were 3.
So if you're interested in doing that, please make sure to reach out to us. You can reach us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, but Facebook, if you messenger us, we'll get right back to you. If you're interested in being a vendor or a sponsor, we'd love to have you. You can also join us for the Lehigh Valley Health Network Pocono Healthy Lifestyle at the ESU Abelhoff Auditorium now through June. And the next time that you can join it is in February, on February 26th. It's with Dr. Musa Tangoran, and we have Alex, and our Jen is there. And we want to also say congratulations to our Jen, who is not with us tonight,
She's
but
celebrating Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
on
she has a
Valentine's Day.
Valentine.
she wanted Valentine's Day instead of Galentine's Day.
Well,
Oh, that's
well,
okay. We have Alex with us.
Yes, you know.
He's our Mr. Sister.
Yeah.
We also have our own Ramel Taylor is involved with the Murder Mystery Company. They are doing Till Death Do Us Part, All is Fair in Love and Murder, and it's going to be at the Chateau Resort on February 15th at 7:30 p.m. You can call or text Murder Mystery to 201-850-9144 for ticket information. They are also offering a Valentine package that includes a room and 2 tickets and more for $315. So you can call 570-629-5900 for reservations and more information. Hi, Mama C.
Hey, Sarah.
How are you?
I am good.
Guess what we're talking about
Love.
tonight?
Love. My
We're talking
favorite
about
topic.
love.
My favorite
We're going to get
topic.
Alex involved in this one.
So I'm gonna start off by saying to everybody that you have to tune in to the chat room and say something, interact with us, and we are going to be giving away a couple nice prizes. Yes, we have 3 massages to give away from April at A Bit of Bliss.
Ooh, yeah, I'll tell you what. I have had a chair massage with April, and it is fabulous. You know, if you come to any of our events, April is usually there. She comes to the tea, and she does these, 5-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute chair massages, and it's just like, talk about a bit of bliss. That is the perfect name for her.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
We also have a gift certificate for $25 off a $75 order from Little Bites Confections.
Thank you.
All right.
And Ramel has given us 2 tickets for the murder mystery.
Ooh. And that's tomorrow, isn't it?
It is.
That's
All
tomorrow,
right.
but
That's
All right.
date night right there.
But
All
you
right,
have to
hello.
be in our chat room to be part of it. So, if you're not there, you don't get to win any of the prizes. Mama C.
Hey everyone, this is Deborah Kofer, aka Mama C, and I'm feeling a little mellow this evening, and not in a bad way, just mellow, and life is interesting and
Not always a
love-
bowl of cherries.
It's not always a bowl of cherries, and boy, did we have a dilemma we were dealing with this week, my daughter and I. But it's resolved, and life is interesting, and it's not about what happens to us; it's about how we respond to it.
That's right.
And so when it comes to love, I try to do all things in love because I always tell people love is our natural nature, and the closer we get to our natural nature, the better the outcomes.
Well, I've been around some people lately that I'm not sure if it's their natural nature.
Well, it's their natural nature, but you see, what happens is a lot of people have been bombarded by a lot of negativity in their lives. And that negativity hides their true selves, their true nature. But, what can you do? You've got to want to live in peace. You have to want to live happily ever after. And it has to become a lifestyle. You can't allow the things that have happened to you in your life to overshadow all the good stuff. And, it's a personal choice.
Well, yeah. When the bitterness sets in, it's really
A monster.
it is a
It
monster.
really is, There's a saying, don't get bitter, get better. But a lot of people don't understand that, And so, no matter what happens to us in our lifetime, we can make the choice of whether or not we're going to allow those things to negatively impact on the rest of our lives, or we're going to shake it off, keep growing and moving forward and becoming our best self possible.
And we also have Mrs. Holly Kearns.
Mrs., yes.
Mrs.
I'm
Holly
the
Kearns.
Mrs.
She's
I'm
the missus.
in
She's
the
the
bunch.
missus.
You are the Mrs. in the bunch.
So happy Valentine's Day, honey, at work. She's at work. I'm at work. We've been married so long that we never would dream of celebrating Valentine's Day on Valentine's Day. It's A, a school night, and B, just would be too expensive and too crazy. So we'll do it this weekend.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people are going to be out and about this weekend. So my suggestion is if that's what you have decided to do, you better make your reservations.
Well, I got to say, our first person to comment in the chat room wins a massage. And the first person to comment in the chat room is Holly Burchards.
Holly
Holly,
Burchard.
okay, Holly.
Hi, Holly.
You get that, Chanel, right? Back there?
Hi, Alex.
Hello, hi everyone.
How are you?
Excellent.
What are you doing for Valentine's Day besides hanging out with the sisters?
I am going to be studying.
Oh, absolutely. You know, that's a labor of love,
Yes, it is.
self-love,
That's right.
because it's going to pay off in the end.
Well, I think you bring up a really great point because a lot of people think that other people can make them happy.
Not.
It really starts from within.
It starts from within yourself. You have to be courageous enough to face all the things that have happened to you that have negatively impacted on who you have become. I know Michelle Obama wrote a book entitled Becoming, but I like to say to people, you have to be and like who you are before you can become someone who is healthy and happy emotionally, physically, and just all around.
So we're going to talk about all different kinds of love tonight. Because
Okay.
there's all different. We started off with Galentine's Day. So let's talk about that.
Well, I believe that you can have the most loving relationships with other women that are not of a lesbian nature.
Oh, absolutely.
But so many people think that if you truly love your girlfriends, that there is some sort of underlying lesbianism that's going on.
And there's nothing wrong with that if that's who you are, but you can't lump us all in the same category.
No.
And I think that it's so important to understand that again, love is our natural nature. Because we say we love one another doesn't mean we're in love with each other like that. So when you're loving on your female friends, you're being kind and considerate and caring
I
and all that good stuff.
absolutely love my sisters. I
Me
do.
too.
And my Mr. Sisters.
Absolutely.
But,
Absolutely.
it is a different kind of, I think that when you fully trust the women that surround yourself with and the men that you surround yourself with,
Right.
it is totally different than something that is romantic. I don't know how to explain it. Holly's mother is my cousin, who is my deepest, dearest, darkest confidant. Like we
the two of them
tell,
are scary
yeah,
together.
we are scary together. But also, Mama C is,
Yeah.
and it is rare that you find another woman that you can really have that type of relationship with, and it continues on.
But Sarah, I think that's because we do the internal work.
True.
We've all been through crazy stuff in our lifetime, but when we are willing not to dump our pain and our anger on someone else, that means we have done the work and we continue to do the work to be the loving people that we naturally are. And so that transcends in our relationships, whether it's male or female, because I have several very dynamic men in my life who we talk on a regular basis by phone, on Facebook, FaceTiming, and I love them. I love them with all my heart. I'm not in love with them. Well, maybe one of them, but maybe one of them getting there. I don't know, but look.
Okay.
Look at Alice. What?
We're gonna have to talk about that one later.
So if we talk about long love, we have Will Wyckoff, our buddies in the chat.
Hey, Will.
Well,
He
and
qualifies for long love.
yes,
Yeah,
hi,
yes,
Will.
he does. Yes, he does.
And Will has been married. Am I correct when I say 45 years?
I think it's 46.
46 years.
Wow.
They're heading
That's-
towards the big anniversary.
the big 50.
I have to say that to me that is so incredibly romantic to have someone that you truly have as a life partner.
Life partner.
And I have to say, on the flip side of that, I believe that I was involved in that because I was married for a very long time, but wound up getting divorced. And I think one of the questions was, what's it like when it's a long love and it's lost?
Yeah.
And so, for me, it was finding myself it was lost due to divorce, but I can't imagine having it lost due to losing, actually truly losing your partner. But for me, it was very difficult because it was like going through a death, and you mourn and you are sad and you have to find yourself all over again.
I was only married for 2 months when I was married. But you still go through a grieving process when you have these expectations that you have found the person of your dreams and that you're going to build together, you're going to grow together, you're going to be together, and then it just all goes bust, we have to be realistic about the people in our lives, and I think that doesn't really happen until way down the line somewhere when you start to once that honeymoon phase kind of fades and you look up and I know a lot of women who look up and they don't even like the man that they're with. They just tolerate each other, no matter how long
well, it becomes a habit.
It becomes an addiction, I think, that to be in a relationship becomes an addiction. And I think, after my marriage broke up, one of the things that I found most interesting was I didn't begin to do the real self-introspective work to identify the choices, why I've made the choices that I had made. But after that happened, I began to engage in some self-loving activities that kind of made it all come together. And, I was married, must have been about 42, 43, somewhere. It's been so long ago that I don't remember. But the bottom line here is marriage does not define who you are. You got to figure out who you are and be comfortable with who you are and even happy with yourself even before you get into a relationship, because nobody can bring you happiness. Nobody can fulfill your life. We have to do that.
Well, and I think one of the things that you touched on is that we have to, first of all, be happy in our own skin. Absolutely have to be happy in our own skin.
Absolutely.
Number one. Number two, for myself, I was raised in, my parents were married for a very long time. They were married from 1944 until my father passed away at age 87.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not really one of those loving marriages. So number one, I was raised in a home where I didn't see that loving interaction between husband and wife.
Right.
So for
Neither did I.
me, that was the norm. And I think that they were a habit with each other, my parents, because they went, it was not a perfect, loving relationship. So, when you are brought up in that and you think that that's the norm and then you are in that yourself, it's kind of like, how do you break it?
Yeah,
breaking
the
think
cycle.
For myself, it was so hard to break that cycle and say, enough. I am not, because I was raised that once you're married, you're
That's
always
it.
married, and that's the way life is.
Right.
And so, I think people equate love and marriage, but unless you're in it, that's not always the case. Now, Holly has a great marriage.
Well,
But
most of the time.
but
yes,
you get
it's a
along
very-
great.
Yes.
It has its challenges,
Yeah,
and it's
no
time.
marriage is perfect. But
Right.
we've been married. This year it'll be 19 years.
Okay.
We've been married, and I have known Kevin Arthur Kern since he was 18 years old in 1992. So
Yeah,
yes, he's in trouble all the time. So, but we We are married because I'm persistent and he is a team player.
Okay.
A good way of
Yeah,
putting it?
well,
yeah, that makes
and
sense.
you guys do things together and you do things separately.
Separately, yeah.
Like, and I think that is, for me,
Well,
that
what
is
we
something
do
so important.
is we are comfortable enough in that there are things that I like to do that he does not like to do.
Right.
And there are things he likes to do that I do not like to do. Like, I
Right,
don't want to
right.
go hiking in the backwoods and sleep in a tent on the ground.
Yep.
I mean, I'll go camping because it's fun, but I don't want to hike 40 miles and then sleep in the dirt. Like, that's not for me. But he loves it. He thinks it's the greatest thing ever. And I don't begrudge him that. On my side, I'm a social person. I like to go out and do things with people. He hates crowds. He's not into meeting new people. It's not for him. We have our time together. We have our time when we're both working. And then we have our time when we are out doing the things we like separately from each other.
And
Absolutely.
I think that's so important. I think one of the biggest mistakes that married couples have is that they think they have to be together 24/7.
I know,
when they
that's-
are not, at work.
Yeah.
And honestly, one of the failings that I see, and when I look at my marriage in retrospect, is that as we grew into the years, my ex lost a lot of his interests, because when I had first met him, he was a very interesting person that did all kinds of things, always had something different to talk about, was well traveled, was, did photography and all these things. And then as we, grew together and had children, whatever, all of those things kind of went to the wayside, and we found that we didn't really have a whole lot to talk about other than kids and
Right.
business,
Right.
which does not sustain a loving marriage.
Well,
No, it
I want to
doesn't.
give a shout out to Jill Howell. She is
Hey, Jill.
listening.
Hey, Jill.
And she was quoted today in an article in the Pocono Record. You can look it up. We have it in the chat room. It's a good article about self-care for the single on Valentine's Day. And Jill, you win the gift certificate to Little Bites Confections.
All right.
Jill,
Okay.
that's
all right.
wonderful. We also want to say thank you to our Chanel Diane. Well,
No.
number one, because she's
Yes.
back there on the
She is.
chat room having a conversation with you guys along with Holly. But her little guy Kendall,
Yes, he did.
sent these
Oh,
We
lovely
love Kendall.
little
How cute is
roses
this?
Talking
to
about
us.
Be My Valentine.
Oh, you
Yeah,
know how
we adore
wonderful.
him.
One of the things I want to say as we continue on is, one of the things I always say to women is that you have to understand that a marriage certificate is not a document of enslavement.
That's right.
And I don't own you, you don't own me. We have separate lives and we have together lives. So I think that it's so important that women handle their issues before they get into it. No man wants you hanging on him, hanging with him all the time. And I know I think I was a man in a previous life. I don't want a man all over me all the time, following me, checking up on me. I mean, I'm a very independent, I'm a free spirit. And anyone who tried to kind of hover and make me feel closed in, that's a relationship that definitely would not work.
I will say that the day that I had my oldest daughter, I realized what true love was. I think that there is a love that happens, as you're carrying the child, there's this amazing love. But then when you look into their little face and you see that little body,
Nothing
all
like
of a
it.
sudden, there's true love.
Yeah,
A-
there's nothing
absolute
like
true
it.
love. So I've fallen in love twice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I have my boy too.
Yeah, and you have your boy.
Yeah.
And I have
you
my
have your
daughter and my 4
your
grandchildren. I
and
mean-
Alex has his children, and you've gone through some amazing things lately, and it's all about love, right?
Yes, it is. And being a parent is a special kind of love, and the sacrifices you make are beyond explainable. You know, you do what you feel you need to do in order to ensure the well-being of your children
That's
and
right.
your family in general, you know. But we all have to be real about what it takes to be in a loving relationship, whether it is romantic, platonic, whether it's with coworkers
What about
or just in
what
general.
about bad love? Have you ever been in a bad?
Oh,
loving-
yes.
How about on Facebook this
Now we're
week?
talking about my subject.
We shared in Sister Chat Radio's Facebook page this week the story of a jilted wife who actually, and she had dedication. She went out and had a poster-sized thing made and posted it along the highway that basically said, "This is the girl's name. I am," and you know, it basically read, "I am Hannah. I am a home wrecker,
Yeah.
and I knew he was married."
Yeah. I mean,
she had posters.
Yeah,
Out there.
big ones, like on stakes
But
on
you
the
know
side
what?
of the highway.
I gotta tell you, number one, she may have known, but so did he. Like, why wasn't his face posted all over?
Yeah, I think it should have been side by side there.
side
Yeah.
by side, exactly. You know, I mean, often the women want to blame the other woman, but you know, you got to look at
The man knew he was married.
Yeah,
too.
the man
Like
knew he was
there.
married. Exactly. You know,
and,
so
and honestly, I've got to tell you, I think sometimes wives, before you point the finger at the girl, you got to kind of look at what your own behavior has been.
absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
how are you treating your husband? How are you behaving at home? What are you doing to make him a happy husband?
hubby?
And what is he doing to make you happy? I mean, you got to really look at it.
But you know what? It goes back to what I said before. Nobody can make you happy.
No.
You're either going to be happy and then attract someone who is happy into your space. And you know what? When you're really happy, you can spot unhappy people and people who are going to put you through a whole lot of hell. And so, you know, the bottom line here is we have to do the work before we jump into these relationships and think that, you know, they're going to fall in tune with the la la land vision that we have in our head. And when the men don't conform or the woman doesn't conform, then that's when all of the drama and the trauma begins. It's a mess. What were you going to say, Al?
I have been told. I usually think that relationship is like a business. You have to have respect. You have to have boundaries. You have to have a lot of things that construct on a daily basis what's right from wrong.
Right. And I agree with you, but that's love.
But it's
That's love. You know, when you genuinely love people, you're not going to do anything. Even when the man I married, because we weren't married long enough to call him my husband. Even when he came to me one evening and said he doesn't want to be married anymore. I mean, needless to say, I was floored because before we got married, I said to him, we don't have to do this. You know, we can continue to live together. We lived together longer than we were married, you know, but I kind of knew that he was not a very mature man, but I figured he would grow and evolve. And,
right.
you know, I was willing to help him and be a partner to him. But you know what? I think the problem was he really was in love with someone else, and I was the woman that his mother approved of.
Approved of.
Yeah,
Lord.
so yeah, I was, and his family. I was the woman everyone approved of.
Well,
you know?
all I can say is, and this comes from experience, if the mother is involved and the boy, the husband or the future husband acts like a little boy when she's around, run.
Yeah,
Just run.
Absolutely,
Don't-
absolutely.
and don't look back.
In a relationship, you have to keep family out.
Oh,
This is something
absolutely.
between you and your partner.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
as long as that stays that way,
I agree.
you'll
I
never
agree.
have problems.
But
I
his
agree.
mother and I should have married his mother. His mother and I had a great relationship even afterwards, you know. I think that it was that he was not ready to make that. And then there was somebody else that he truly was in love with. He went on to marry that person. They're divorced now, but whatever. It is what it is. I think that you've got to be ready. You've got to be mature enough to take that kind of step. And I think a lot of people aren't mature enough to take that kind of stuff. They have not done the self-work. They have not cleaned out their inner temple and made peace with their demons and the ghosts haunting them. And so, they enter people's lives and all hell breaks loose because they have expectations of that person and you have expectations, and it just goes wild.
I think that's a big problem.
Oh,
in
absolutely.
Today's relationship, the
Expectations.
The
expecting.
expectations.
I expect them. In love, it has to be a construction. You build each other to what each other
That's
need
right.
without asking for it.
Right, absolutely.
Not telling the person or coaching the person, hey,
That's
you
right.
have to do this or
Right. You don't
It's-
want to
it's
be their
automatic.
mama. You don't
So-
really want to be their mama.
So let's like make it completely different. I have on here on our list because I have a specific story that I want to kind of say. But
Okay.
What about instant love? The reality shows where they pick two people, down the aisle they go, they're married.
That's nuts. I really think that's nuts, but okay, whatever floats your boat.
I'm
Well, I
guilty
gotta
for
say,
that.
Oh, you're guilty of that? Oh.
Yes,
You have
when
a
I was-
story to tell?
Yes, when I was in the military, I did marry someone spontaneously. We had just met online, and I was married to her for 3 years. And
Wow.
that's my daughter, who I have for 7 years old.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and on my side, I went to college with a young man who was just a very unusual guy. He was wild and crazy and fun, and he graduated from college and was living out in the Midwest and decided he really wanted to meet the love of his life, and he enlisted his friends. It was in the paper. It turned into a big thing because he enlisted his friends to find him a wife. And they put it out there. He was interviewed on the TV. It was and people applied. There was like an application, a ticket, and it was like one of the first reality shows where two people got together and they got married in the Mall of America.
Wow.
And they 20 years later, 4 kids, and unfortunately he passed away of cancer this past year. He suffered from cancer, and she lost him, but she's writing a book about their life right now. I got to read it and it made me cry so much because it was just such a story. But she saw him on TV that he was doing this wild and crazy thing and talked to her grandmother about it, and her grandmother said, go for it. Life is short, like go meet this guy, do it. And they did it for 20 years.
Wow.
Wow. All right. Sometimes it does work, I think, but that's
I think
that's an exception to the
unusual.
rule. Yeah, I think it is.
But the thing
how
is,
wonderful.
exceptions happen.
Exceptions do happen, and
that's amazing.
And you never know unless you go for it. I think
Right.
that people have become afraid of being in intimate relationships. When I say intimate, where you get to know the person and the person gets to know you, intimacy doesn't necessarily include sex, but just getting to know each other on a much deeper level. I think that's
we've often
important.
talked about attraction because different things attract different people.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know for myself, it's not the person's age. It's not the way they look. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's how we have a conversation and how our brains interact.
How
It's
that energy.
called sapiosexual, but not everyone is that.
Right. Absolutely.
So I mean, what attracts you, Mama C?
Oh my God.
I was going to ask Alex, but I decided I better
that's
ask
right.
you.
I should have looked the other way. Well, I like men who are very for real. They don't, I like the ruggedly handsome kind of guy, not the kind of guy who is prettier than me, and it looks like a model or anything. I mean, I don't necessarily, for me, it's about how we interact with one another, whether we can have a expansive, intelligent conversation, whether or not we're on the same page or even in the same book. do you like the things that I like? Do I like the things that you like? And it doesn't have to be everything, but there has to be some merging of the minds in order for, I think, the relationship to have some foundation for growth.
I am going to give away another massage.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving away a massage to a mama that's watching.
Oh, wonderful.
So, Katie, you get a massage.
All right, Katie.
Oh,
All right. Hello.
wonderful.
All right, Katie.
Awesome.
So first time doesn't work. Second time, well, I haven't been in a second time, and honestly, I'm scared to death to think about a second or a third time.
Well, you know what? I think for me, there's not a real fear of being in a relationship. I think you have to really take your time. As we mature, we learn to take our time, and when we learn to truly love ourselves, we're not willing to throw ourselves to the wolves hoping that, it's all going to be all right. We do a little bit more exploring of the person. And I think that makes a big difference.
Well, and I have to say, I mean, as a now single person, I actually got married later in life. I was 34 when I got married. But so I loved being single up to age 34. And I honestly love being single. I think that I am a person that is highly independent. I like to be able to go home at night, watch TV if I want to, not watch TV, eat if I want to, not eat, do whatever it is that I feel comfortable with. And I think
And go wherever you want to go, whenever you want to do
exactly.
Absolutely.
Because, I think for so long being under that, where you have to comply and kind of, it gets tiresome if it's not the right person. And I think
Absolutely.
my fear is getting into another relationship where it becomes that kind of
Cumbersome kind of relationship.
Pulling, tugging.
Tug of war
Yes.
of sorts.
I don't
yeah.
want to do that again.
Yeah, you know what? I enjoy being single. I think most of my life, my younger life, I wanted to get married and have a family. I wanted 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys. My daughter had the 4 children for me. But I think that, once I realized that things were not working out that way, you have to get used to what is as opposed to moaning and groaning over what didn't happen in your life. And so even at this point in my life, I enjoy being single. I wouldn't mind doing the Oprah and Stedman thing. I wouldn't mind having a life partner.
I like that.
I'd like a life partner,
I
but I
like
don't
that.
necessarily have to get married.
Nope.
If we decided to do that, that's another thing. That would be between me and him. But I would like a soulmate and a life companion. And
What is that thing your mom is always talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, I'll
There's
have
a
to
million
think about
things
it.
She talks about. How would I keep track of what my mother talks about?
Twin flame. That's the thing.
Twin
No.
flames.
The twin flame. That's that. That there is just. Do you believe that? That
Oh,
there is
absolutely.
one person that is meant solely for you. That you are meant to be together.
I think that we have many twin flames. I don't think we have one twin flame.
Oh, I have one.
I think
I have one.
I think that
do.
And
twin
who
flames.
is that Kevin?
Kevin.
Yeah, but you see, you married your twin flame. I've had several twin flames in my life. Men who I just sync with so well that we can kind of finish each other's sentence. We can talk on levels that are just absolutely exhilarating. But I think that, and I created a twin flame Facebook page because once I started learning about twin flames and, what is a twin flame and all that, I wanted to know more. And I created this page for other people who also was curious. So I think it's a good thing. It's like soulmates. You don't just have one soulmate. We're soulmates, Sarah.
I know that.
I have most of the women in my life, we're soulmates, and if we're not soulmates, I really don't don't allow those women into my sacred
Circle.
space. Exactly, because there is a certain relationship, a certain kind of love that exists between soulmates that doesn't exist with other people. And so, I prefer soulmate relationships, and I tend to gravitate to them, and they gravitate to me. And I love it because we're kind and considerate and compassionate and patient and understanding of each other. And I think that that's what love is really all about.
So Will Wyckoff just offered his book up as a prize if somebody would like to win it tonight. Now, I read Birds on a Wire, his book, and it is really cool. Like, you get to where you really want to know who the murderer is,
Who
and
did it?
who did it, and who's going to save everybody, and like what's going to happen.
A
And
lot of intrigue.
I think that we should. That should be the last prize we give today.
we'll give that out last. So
Thank
if
you,
you're a
Will.
Thank
book-
you, Will.
If you love books, post that in on the chat room, and we will consider you for that prize, because it's an amazing book. I gotta say, if you want to win the Birds on a Wire, let us know that you love books, and then we will give away Will's copy and get it to you. And that's just awesome, because I loved it. I stayed up late one night to read the
I
end of
remember
it.
you talking about
I
that.
did. I did. It's just, there's espionage and
Wow.
and spies and assassins
And intrigue.
Yeah,
and-
it's an amazing book. It's an amazing book.
okay.
I want to say
So-
a quick happy Valentine's to my mom. She's listening. My
Oh.
dad stole her from me today. We had a pact. I was going to take her out, but he took her ahead of time.
Well, I think he
Well,
has
you are a
carte
great
blanche.
son.
Yes, well, he had her for 30-something years. One day for Valentine's.
How nice. How nice.
Happy Valentine's, Mom.
Happy
Aw, there you
Valentine's
go.
to you.
And I think we all have happy Valentine's to say. You have Tiffany and your grandchildren.
Oh, absolutely. Those are my absolute everyday Valentines. I don't care what's going on, the ups, the downs, the all arounds. My life began to come together when I gave birth to my daughter. She gave me meaning, and I developed a whole sense of sense of direction after I had her, because I knew I had to be responsible for ensuring that she had a better life than what I had as a kid. And, hopefully I did that.
Will wants me to remind everybody that there is love story in the book too.
It's a love
Oh,
story in the
thank
book.
you, Will.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Will.
I want to say happy Valentine's Day to my two daughters, Hannah and Elizabeth, both of who I am incredibly proud of. They are just the loves of my life, and I am so thankful that I have them. And I also, went and spent time with my 96-year-old mom, June Smith. She's out at Whitestone Manor. And, it was one of the most touching moments that I have had with her in a very long time. And I have to say, there was a clarity with her today that I've
You
not
hadn't
seen
seen
in
for
a
a
very
while.
long time. And I was so touched because she said to me, I love you, and I am so thankful I have you.
Oh, how nice
And I
is
have
that?
to say that, that was the most precious thing for me today. It was just a Valentine that I did not expect. So, thank you, God, for giving me that moment, because it's been a really long
Amen.
time.
Yeah.
So, Holly,
Yes.
you said happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
I am
Thanksgiving.
thankful.
She's
I am
rushing
Happy
to hear.
Valentine's Day. Well, we have to say happy Valentine's Day to your mom,
To my mom.
Hey,
because we love
Susan.
her, Susan,
Yes, we do.
Hi, Susan.
She is my first love.
and your sisters.
And all my sisters and their kids, but mostly to Kevin and Connor and Connor's girlfriend Bella.
Yeah, she's the new love in your life.
She is. I'm so grateful that my son's first little girlfriend is, well, I'm hoping, you never know, last little girlfriend, I don't know, is just such a nice person. He found a nice little
I
Nice
have to
first
say,
person.
my daughter Elizabeth has been in a loving relationship with a young man for I think it's
Hey,
5
let's just give a
5
big
years
shout
now.
out for Nick, because he's in the New York Police Department and we appreciate everything he does.
And he
Absolutely.
is an amazing her first boyfriend I mean, they seem to be very happy, and so it
So you
doesn't
never
always
know.
have to be the first,
First, it could be the only.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah,
see.
your first
like
could end
my-
up being your only.
That's like my sister and her boyfriend. That's her first boyfriend, Stefan and Lydia. Happy Valentine's Day. And they're 25. They're high school sweethearts.
Oh, okay.
They've been around for.
Yeah, I have a
Awesome.
girlfriend that I work with. She has been dating. She dated her husband from like high school. They went to high school together, and when they were about 30, they finally got married, and now they have a little girl, and like they have never dated anyone else.
Wow.
So I'm going to skip around a little
Okay.
bit, but online dating.
Online dating.
Online
Online dating.
Finding
Well,
love in all the wrong, places.
Let's give out a murder mystery ticket first.
Okay.
Nice. What's the murder
I would
mystery?
like to. We're gonna pick Nadia. who's
Nadia.
Hey,
oh,
Nadia.
Wonderful. That
Congratulations.
Such
to
a
listening.
good
This
Nadia.
little
time.
death do you part is gonna spice up your Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
wonderful.
It's a
Oh
nice
my
ticket.
God.
Enjoy Nadia.
So finding love in all the wrong, right places. Plenty of Fish, Cupid, eHarmony, Tinder, Match.com. I mean, there's a lot of them out there. Silver something or other. I got a thing from that because I'm over 50. So,
The
silver singles.
silver single.
Silver single.
Okay.
Silver
Okay.
singles.
Has
You know?
anybody here ever looked at a dating website?
Well,
Yes,
Yes, I have.
Yes,
I have. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, I hooked up with someone
hooked
who I
up?
met.
Wait,
through-
wait.
Hooked up. This was a long time ago. I think.
You mean hooked up like they mean hooked up now?
Like what?
Hooked up means something different.
Well, okay. Well, yes, we did hook up for a little while. You know,
I gotta say-
he moved in with me. We
Mama
lived
C
together
has the
for
best
about a
stories.
year, maybe about a year or so. But he had some major issues.
But you did
started
find
to-
somebody. But you did
Well,
find
and
somebody.
yeah, I wish I hadn't,
actually-
but
No,
and
that's
I
a whole other
recently I learned
story.
a couple of years ago that he died. He had blood clotting issues, and so
Well-
may he rest in peace. But he wasn't a bad person. He just was a confused person.
Well, that's
and
usually what you find on.
that's usually what you find.
But I have to say, Jen found Shane on Plenty of Fish.
Plenty of fish.
Jen.
I actually went on a date from Match.com. I have to say that not everyone is the picture that they put on any of those sites because
Shocking.
I went to
Oh
meet.
my goodness, the internet isn't truthful.
Oh yes. Well, I went to meet this man who I talked to on the phone. He sounded very youthful, very nice. I went to meet him, and the picture that was on Match.com was about 40 years ago because he's hunched.
Oh.
He was hunched over, wrinkled, smelled like cigarette smoke. I was like, okay, this is definitely
that's
not for
gross.
me. So
Yeah.
that
So
was
you-
not
you
my way of doing
I
it.
thought you were dating David Hasselhoff and
Yeah.
you wound up with a troll.
Yeah, something like that. And I have to say to all the men out there that listen to us and think that we're, whatever, sending pictures of your body parts
Never is gonna work.
is
it's
just not
never gonna work.
sexy.
It's
Not
not
for a real
it
woman.
is-
It's not for a
I
real
gotta
woman.
say,
Matter of
going
fact,
in
we
both
get
directions,
appalled
it's not
at it.
Sexy.
It
like
is
I'm
just
serious.
not
Like,
sexy.
it's like that is something you do not want to see on your phone. Spontaneous.
Oh,
Yeah, like,
and
what?
especially when it's unsolicited. And then I had this guy that he sent me a friend request, and I looked through. I looked through all their profiles anymore because I'm trying to weed out the scammers. And he had a decent job, worked for the Department of Medicaid, as an inspector or something. He sends me the most lascivious message as soon as I clicked on accept. I was like, oh my gosh, I had to block him about a second after I accepted his thing.
Yeah.
That is not sexy, guys. It really is not sexy.
It's not sexy. As a matter of fact, it's
Refrain
disgusting.
from that.
Yeah, refrain from that. Exactly. Because like you said a minute ago, Alex, real women are not interested in your penis.
That's
we're
correct.
not
we're
interested.
No, well,
we're
no.
interested.
Well,
It's not the deciding factor.
it's not the deciding fact, but we're not interested in the beginning with seeing your body parts. That's the
That's
bottom
right, yeah.
line. You know, we're just
Not
not,
even me. Not even me as a man. I would like a woman to just come and send me
picture
body
of her
parts, but
boobs
yeah,
or whatever. Exactly.
turn off. It's
It
like, what
is
am I
a
getting
turn
into
off.
here?
Like, what the hell is
But
this?
it's like before you even know them. Oh, here. Hi. Here I go. Here you
yeah,
go.
here you go. Bam.
What is that?
I'm gonna tell you the funniest story.
And it's probably somebody else's anyhow.
funny story. A friend to rename nameless. This is an anonymous, completely anonymous chat here. She was gonna go and print a picture off of her phone for her daughter to have the picture, and she went to Walgreens and plugged the phone, like you got to plug the phone into the little kiosk, right? And she was having trouble, and she called, like, the young man came over to help her. And, it starts loading a bunch of pictures, like not just the picture you want, like pictures from your phone up on the kiosk.
Ooh.
And she had spent a great deal of time taking a perfect picture of herself to send to her husband,
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
nothing untoward. And it pops up on the kiosk in front of the kid. How bad?
Okay.
So I'm telling you, there is no situation where you take a picture of stuff like that you might not become embarrassed of it one day.
At
That's
some
true.
point, exactly.
So
So, do we
keep
have,
it a mystery, people.
yes.
Keep it a mystery.
So I do want to say that one of the last questions I have for everyone is, how do we keep the love and feeling? I mean, it's really important because we've all been there. We've made mistakes. We've made good judgments. But how do you keep the loving feeling?
I think the number one thing you should keep is respect.
Yep.
Respect, respect, respect.
Oh, I think
Has to be
I think so.
the main thing. You have to
Honesty,
know
kindness.
admiration and understanding. Those
Absolutely.
three things will
But
always work.
I think that you've got to be a person who is in tune with your partner, and they have to be in tune with you. The moment you begin to grow apart, you lose that loving feeling.
And,
They
and
lose
you
that
know
loving
when
feeling.
that is
And
happening.
absolutely, absolutely. So I think that both people have to love each other enough to do things that interest the other person. I think, once you start to lose interest, then that's it. You start to separate. There's always got to be a level of compassion, patience, kindness, care, and concern that each partner shows to the other. And not just sometimes or when you feel like it, but all the time. You don't have to argue about something because you're trying to make a point. You know what? Sometimes silence is the most powerful thing you can do. You don't have to fight. I mean, people,
I'm
everybody's
a fighter. I can't.
really.
Yep.
Oh, she's a fighter. Okay.
I can't help it. But I have a very long fuse. So that's the problem. People with really long fuses, you finally have to let it out.
once you get there, it
There's like that.
explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's
then-
that explosion.
But then it's like done. I explode and then I'm done.
right.
And there's no hard feelings.
Well, I
Right.
think.
So
That's good.
Well, that's good. I mean, but I think that as we age, we get to a point where, we treasure peace of mind and happiness. I know I do. I treasure peace of mind and happiness. And I always have had a saying that goes that, I'd rather be happy than right. And so, it really depends on who you are and where you are and who your partner is and where they are, And I think that, there are a lot of people who are getting married much later in life, and those marriages seem to be good marriages. Why? Because they've done the work on themselves.
Well, we
and-
have someone here that is like almost 19 years into it. So what would you suggest, Holly?
For what? to keep it
Keep that loving feeling going.
You have to not sweat the small stuff because life is long.
Yeah.
And whether or not the laundry got done last night is something that I have to personally get over.
Yeah, or
because
somebody didn't
or-
rinse out the ring in their cup or whatever it might
You
be.
paid the
Right.
credit card late because
Right.
you were stupid or whatever the heck could go on. None of that, overshadows the good stuff.
That's really
Yeah.
true.
I think
Very
that's
good
important.
points.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to thank.
I got to give away some
Oh,
more
you
prizes.
okay.
I gotta
Okay,
give
go
away some
ahead.
more prizes.
Go ahead.
So
Prizes.
Give away the prizes.
So I'm going to give Jane Gagliardo a ticket to the murder mystery.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful.
All right,
Jane, enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy, Jane.
Ruth is going to get a massage, the last massage.
Yes.
All right, Ruth.
Wonderful,
And then at
Ruth.
the very end, I'm going to give away the book.
Okay.
Okay.
So we want to thank all of the wonderful music that you listen to before and after our show. Christina Lenaway, who wrote our jingle for Get Seen in the Poconos, also has wonderful CDs out there. So, some of the music that you hear is from Christina. We also want to thank Andrew Moses. Andrew hosts the open mic night at Renegade Winery on Thursday nights from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. So some Thursday night, if you're out with the gals and you
I'll
want
be there
to,
tonight.
Yeah. Well, we can always stop over after a show one night.
yes, we can.
Yeah.
So we'll plan on doing
We'll
that.
plan that.
And we also want to let everyone know, if you're really not sure what you're going to do on Saturday, we're actually going out with Miss Jen. And if anybody wants to just pop in and join us, we're going to be at the Silverback Distillery. We're going to be there about 1:30 and, have
I'll be working.
hang out.
Yes,
Amasee's going to be working.
We're going to start at the Silverback Distillery at 1:30.
And we're going to go to Median Green and a few other
We're
places.
going to stop at Median Green, and then we're going to come down to town. Winterfest is going on, so
Oh,
we're gonna check
wonderful. It's
that
going to
out.
be
Lots of things going on. So, Sistah Chat is about town all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
You can always stop us and have a conversation with us if you're interested in possibly, being on the show, or if you have a topic for the show, or you have something that you'd like to share with us. You can always reach out to us at sistahchatradio@gmail.com. And, we'd love to hear from you. We want to also remind you again to join us for the Lehigh Valley Health Network Pocono Healthy Lifestyle Challenge with Dr. Musa Tangoran.
Dr. T, we
Yeah,
love
we love
him.
Oh,
you.
yeah, we got to have him back on.
Happy
soon.
Valentine's Day to Dr. T.
Yeah,
Yes.
Love Fest
Happy
for
Valentine's
Dr. T.
Day,
Yes.
T.
On February 26th is the next time that you can join them. It is not too late. It's at 6 p.m. at the ESU Abelhoff Auditorium. And Alex and Jen, I believe, will be there.
Yes, we will be.
Mama C,
Yes.
guess what time it is?
It's that time.
It is that time for
It
Mama
is.
C's Words of Wisdom.
Well, since we're talking about love, I just want to plant this seed in everyone's mind. Love is the essence of life. When we are true to love, love is true to us.
Ooh, that's deep.
I usually go pretty deep. What the heck?
We want to remind everyone that if you have not purchased your tickets for the Mother's Day Tea on Saturday, May 4th at the Shawnee Inn and Golf Resort, it is going to be from 1 to 4:30 p.m. We still have 3 vendor spots left. So, you can always message us. And if you're interested in being a vendor, please reach out to us because we do only have the 3 spots left. If you are interested in attending the tea, it's $25 per person. No,
No,
$35 per
per
person.
person.
$25 for children. And if you want a table of 8, it is $250.
I think that comes out to like $31.25 per person. So it's a nice little discount.
It is. We also want to say that if you have not joined us for Get Seen in the Poconos on Thursdays, just prior to this show from 6:30 to 6:50, we have this really interesting show where we're bringing on local folks to talk about their businesses. So if you are interested in coming on the show, please reach out to us at gmail.com. We also are going to be having our upcoming card exchange at Adams Gallery in Stroud Mall. It is on the 27th.
And we have 3 tickets left.
We have 3 tickets
Three
left.
tickets left.
3 tickets left.
3 tickets left. So it'll be sold out, I think, by the end of the night
by
tonight.
tonight. So
And next month in March, we're excited that we're going to be back at the Cinder Inn with Veronica.
wonderful.
okay.
Ooh, their hot turkey sandwich was amazing. So I
Yes.
hope they still have
There
them.
are going to be dinner specials and drink specials and some free nibbles, and we're going to have a great time over there.
I love going there. We just want to remind you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And, you can always reach out to us wherever we might be, but that's the best way to know where we're going to be.